Hey everybody, welcome back to Kicking in the Second Half, KISH YZ. This is episode 31, and we're bringing to y'all a special episode. This is called the KISH Dundies, the KISH NBA Dundies. You know, if you're familiar with The Office, you know what the Dundies are, and that's what we're doing here. We're having fun with this podcast, so let's get into it. I'm D, back again with my co-host Hugh. What up, Hugh?
Hey, what's going on, people? We looking fly tonight, bro.
Hey
I like
man,
it.
show it off, bro. Show the people,
Hey,
man. Get in the camera and show it
dressed
off.
up. We dressed up for the occasion. We got the blazers on. You know, only come out for special occasion. Only been worn twice. Yeah, we got the blazers on. We rocking with it tonight, boy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you looking good, man. You ready for this special event, man? What row are you sitting in over there?
Whoa, what?
Row. You look like you're pretty close, man. You look like you about ready to step on stage and get one of these awards yourself, bro.
Let's go. Works for me.
I look like I'm at home waiting for the draft.
Yeah, it looks like you spending it at home with your family instead of going. You waiting for the call.
You know it.
There you go.
Know it. Hey.
Yeah,
This is an interesting concept that we're doing here. I hope this continues. We can make this into an annual event. You know, maybe later on when we get some more subscribers and people watching, we could probably do this as a live event. That would be cool down the road. Put that in the comments. Y'all want to see this live next year. But yeah, this year, this is just something randomly came up with to end the regular season. Obviously, the NBA has their own personal awards, and we'll dive into that in the second half of this episode. We'll get into like our predictions or, you know, who we think should be the award winners. But for the KISH Dundies, yeah, these are some all kinds of different awards that are not NBA affiliated, but we're going to make it that way, right, Hugh?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you looking sharp, man. One more time, man. Give the people that view, bro. Get all up in the camera. Say something so they can see you. Flex on them.
Hey,
Flex
how you doing? Little tight. Can't flex too hard. Don't want to pop a button in it. But yeah. D actually got me this blazer. Wear it for Christmas dinner. So yeah, it's only second time it's been worn. But yeah, look good in the inside. You probably can't see. It's Golden State all on the inside. So it's a basketball blazer. But hey, little business on the outside, party on the inside. You feel me? A little bit of that action. So we rolling with it.
Yeah, you gonna be at the KISH Dundee after party. What up, bro? What up,
man? Yeah.
Yeah. Wear your mask though. Not just joking. Anyway. Yeah, mine is just, you know, just a regular blazer here. I almost went with the suit jacket, but I just stuck with the blazer. And I'm representing the Blazers. What up, Portland? Yo, Blazer fans in the building. Where y'all at? Leave in the comments y'all like the Blazers. Shout out to Zach Hammond. But yeah, Hugh, this feels good, man. We just recorded a couple episodes before this, but I feel like we're gonna start it all over. Clean slate, man. What do they call them? Febreze Brothers. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, you looking good, bro. I like it.
You too.
We feel good, right? Let's
look
get into
good, feel
these
good.
KISH Dundies, bro. Hey, let's get into it, man. Hey, you want to do the honors of the first award?
Sure. We got our first award we want to give out this evening is under
it's
the
a major
category.
Award.
Yeah, all these awards, major awards.
Major key.
Yeah. All right, but the first major award we want to give out for the night is the category is called Most Electric Player. Oh, and hey. Before we dive too deep into this, I think we should let the people know we wanted to stick with specifically players, and we have one category that's team-based, but we wanted to stick with players and teams that were in either the playoffs or the play-in tournament. So on any of the teams that did not make even the play-in tournament, so the 11th through 15th seeds they're not featured on the Dundies. So we only do winners over here. So yeah, we're only talking about players from the playoffs or currently in the play-in tournament. So just a disclaimer there.
Filling that information in, I appreciate it because that's what we got here. So we did want to shout that out. So I appreciate you getting that going before we start. But yeah, that award again, hit that up again.
Most electric player.
Okay, so we did our list. We kind of compiled some of our things together, but it might be slightly different because this is KISH YZ, we're doing a Gen Y and a Gen Z, but some of these might overlap, but let's see what we come up with. So Hugh, you're presenting that first award to who?
My award for most electric player.
Wait a minute. There's still that build up here. I want to announce that when we did these, they can be overlap between Hugh and I, but there can't be redundancy as far as our own personal list. We can't make the award given to a player and then turn around and give them another award. So for each of us, we have to do a different person for each category. But we might have the same person in two different categories, just to clarify, in case people were wondering why we didn't select such and such for this award as well. But this is all opinionated based. So, like I said, if we continue this tradition as an annual event, then maybe next year you can plug it in on our Twitch and Instagram under KISHYZ, KISH_YZ, and we'll shout you out and present an award in that fashion on the podcast. But round one or first year go at it, it's just you and I.
Yes, sir. Hey, and one other thing I want to tell the people, this is raw. Me and Derek, or me and D, have not discussed our award winners at all. So yeah, what he's telling me is news to me, and what I'm saying is news to him. So yeah, just want to throw that out there. This is raw, unscripted. All I was told was the categories, and we go off of that. So just want to throw that out there too, so people know this is raw. So our reactions are real. We might disagree, and we might have to get into that slightly, but we might have to pull Kanye and get on stage and say why Beyonce should win over Taylor Swift. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Man.
I'm calling security.
But anyways, for my first award for most electric player, definitely a few guys are honorable mentions here. I won't get into them, but a lot of the big guys in the league. But for most electric player, my award winner goes to my guy, SC30, my favorite player in the league, Stephen Curry. He is, the scoring leader this year. Amazing to watch him play. He missed a handful of games with a tailbone injury, but besides that, his ankle held up surprisingly all year. Reliable, carried the Warriors, the scoring champion, 10 games of 40 points or more, broke records, Warriors leading scorer. My best player, and probably since I've started watching basketball, to watch without the ball, and what it does, create space for himself and get open. He's just an incredible player to watch, and I don't think there's anyone more electric in the league than him. So Steph Curry wins that award for me.
Man, that was a great introduction right there, because it feels like, to me, like you really wanted to hand it to him like right now. Like he's about to walk in from the back, right? He was that ghost a few episodes ago.
Come on in, bro. I know you about to fly out to LA, but you got time to stop by Virginia real quick.
Yeah, stop by and get this Dundee.
Hey, they flying from Oakland to Virginia to get this, and then back to LA. They taking a round trip flight.
Hey, coast to coast, that's the way we like to do it. Hey, Hugh, while Steph is over there, bro, yeah, go ahead and send him over here too, so he can get my award for the same exact category. I almost put him somewhere else.
Let's go.
But yeah, my most electric player for the KISH NBA Dundee goes to Steph Curry. You did the intro, you did pretty much gave like a bibliography right there, so I don't even have to do anything. The only thing that's missing is that we haven't done a PPF on them yet, so stay tuned for that down the road, and catch our PPFs if you haven't on our YouTube channel. And on our podcast channel for the audio only listeners as well. But yeah, man, Steph Curry, definitely electric. I think for me, what did it was all those 3-point shots that he made in like consecutive games, as far as like how many he was taking and how many he was making. A couple of times when he hit like 10 plus several times. And, I was looking for him to break in that record, but that's something to be continued into next season between him and Clay. Maybe Clay gets on this list at some point this year, or maybe next year. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Steph Curry definitely gets my first KISH NBA Dundee. So congratulations. Take one of these awards, except for Groot. You can't have him. He's not an award. He's a tree. So, and he stays with me. But yeah, let's keep it going, Hugh.
Hey, one thing I wanted to throw out about Curry too. He was extremely, extremely close to making the 50-40-90 club this year. I saw Kyrie made it, was a ninth player, I believe, in history to make it. But Curry,
Chris Paul, they said he was really close as well. He was super close.
Yeah, they said
if you
Curry
round it
was
up,
48% from the field. They said Curry was 48% from the field, and that's what did it. But from three, he was 42%. So he got that, and then three, I think he from the free throw line, I think he might have been 92 maybe or something like that. So yeah, just like 2% off from the field. But I blame that on the volume of shots he has to take. But should have made it, but that's
Chris
one
Paul
one
was
thing
like
he
at
didn't
40.
do. But I'll take his.
Chris Paul was like at 49.5% field goal percentage.
Oh
I think they
wow,
said
he's
he
closer.
took five deep threes that were like, half court buzzer beater threes or something. Like if he didn't take those, he probably would have made it. I can't remember what his 3-point percentage was, but that was close if you rounded up on that. Because, going by the integer, it would have rounded up. And then the free throw, he had that down too. I think he was like at 93 something, 93.3 or something like that. But yeah, he barely made it. But like I say, if you round up his numbers to whole numbers, then he actually did get it. But I don't know I don't think they counted it. So
you go into the next one, D.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this award out. And yeah, shout out to our boy KD. Not the one for the Warriors, but the one from work. Hey, bro, I got you on this.
Warriors.
Because, yeah, I'm sorry. What do you want me to say?
He's from Brooklyn.
Oh man, we ain't gotta talk about that on here, man. We're having a peaceful episode. Shout out to KD from OKC. How about that? Because that makes me feel better. And
fair enough.
Yeah, but he helped me out with this one because when we were compiling this list and doing different things, I want to do this in his honor. So this is the most injury-prone player in the league. So most injury-prone, MIP. So let's give it away. I'm giving it to no other than Hugh, one of the players that you were trying to argue that was a really great player earlier this season, to Dwayne. It's going to be Joel Embiid, most injury-prone player. And that's not in regards to the last few seasons. That's basically off of this season. And yeah, he got injured. Not something major, but just enough to be kind of nagging. I mean, yeah, there's different candidates that could have went out there, but for me, and for the sake of KD, this is what he came up with. So I stuck with it. And Joel Embiid, come get your award for most injury prone. You could probably have that one in the back because his legs are kind of broken. He kind of like, oh dang, look at that. He even collapsed. So we'll straighten you back up here in a second. But you get my award. I'm gonna hand it off to Hugh to see who gets the Gen Z version of the MIP most injury prone player. Give your Dundee away.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I when I was thinking of players, Embiid definitely crossed my mind. But well, first off, I got an honorable mention I want to throw out. This individual is extremely close to winning it for me, but I just decided to go in a different direction. But my honorable mention is Gordon Hayward. He was extremely close to making it. Looks like every time I turn around, he's out more than he's playing. So I mean, he was extremely close for me to making this. But this one big name player that we talk about a lot on here. It's one that we had I can't remember if it was a debate or something about if I thought he was in the GOAT conversation. But my most injury prone player award, my Dundie, will go to Kevin Durant himself. I'm a huge Kevin Durant fan, so in no way am I taking shots at him. But he got injured his last year at Golden State, got rushed back in the playoffs, hurt himself again, missed all of last season, the whole entire season. His first year with Brooklyn. Then this year came back. It's supposed to be a different story. And he missed more games this year than he's played. So, the last, 3 years, he's missed more than he's played. So definitely a injury-prone player there where you expect an 82-game season for him to miss at least a good portion of that due to injury in any given year. So yeah, I take KD on that one.
So congratulations to the top two Eastern Conference seeds there. Y'all both get an award. Major award. Let's hand clap that one right there, Hubert. Okay. What you got? We got another award, bro. We're keeping going. You ready?
Yeah, we do. We got next up on the Dundies, I was excited for this one. I think this is one I came up with, wasn't it?
It might have been.
I came up with.
It might have been.
I think I came up with this one, but best celebrations. I like celebrations. I like when guys hit a clutch shot or make a great play, hit a little celly to celebrate it. It gets the crowd fired up when there's a full arena like there normally is, and it's just something great to watch. Makes the game more competitive, maybe fires up the other team a little bit. They don't like to see that stuff. But yeah, love celebrations, all sports. Football, I love, a lot of their touchdown celebrations. Teams, I mean, whole teams spend time with celebrations. Just all sports. I love all celebrations there. But yeah, it's a couple good ones here. What did it for me? My winner for the best celebration is Russell Westbrook, Rock a Baby, is what I called it. When he scores
Okay,
maybe on a smaller defender.
let's get it on the big screen. Let's get it on your screen. Can you show us the celebration?
Yeah. So yeah, he might like score on a smaller defender. He might, drive on a guy and dunk on him. He might do something like that. And after he scores, he'll act like he has a baby and kind of rock the baby a little bit like that. I can't do him as good as him. Plus, I'm in a little tight of a blazer. But yeah, something along those lines. And I want to do a quick plug here. I think some people that watch this are big hip hop rap fans, and as most people know, J. Cole dropped his highly anticipated album, The Off Season, this past Friday, and on his second song on the album, it is a song called Amari, and he actually dropped a music video for it today on Monday, by the way. But in the actual song, he says this. He says, "Kill him." He said, "Kill him in a song. Walk about the booth. Do the Westbrook rock a baby." So he actually shouted out Russell Westbrook. J. Cole, one of the biggest rappers. So Russ actually made a statement about it and says that he was honored to do that. But yeah, just a quick plug there. How we're talking about the celebration, but yeah, I like that celebration. I think it's extremely disrespectful to anyone he's doing against, but I love it. I love Russ watching him play because he does quite a few celebrations and gets the other team riled up. But yeah, that one did it for me. I love watching him do that. And then J. Cole plugged them in a song, and that sold it for me right there.
That's what we like to see. Go ahead and plug in the Migos too, because they shouted them out in their new song.
What'd they say?
Quavo said it and Straighten.
Y'all know his new song. What did he say?
Oh man, I don't know the lyric. I can't remember the line. But he said it though. Here you go.
Hey, shout out John Morant, because J. Cole also shouted out John Morant. He said, "John Morant, I'm on my Grizzly, but he ain't on my list." But yeah, shout out John too. That's a big deal, man. When a big rapper like J. Cole shouts you out. I mean, imagine how that makes you feel, especially John, like a second-year player, a young guy trying to make it, and you getting shout outs by J. Cole. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we'll have to do an episode on that on rappers shouting out ballers, but they get referenced a lot. But for real, yeah, some of it's expanding on the different versions of how lyricists are putting them in their songs, and not just keeping the same cameo of players. But yeah, let me give out my best celebration. And Hugh, I don't know if you want to do a drum roll. Can you do one? Thank you. I think I kind of heard that. And
Good.
Hugh, that drum roll was because you got it, bro. This is why I'm wearing the Blazers gear right here, bro.
There it is.
Dame time. You got like me mug with it too, like kind of me mug. I mean, I saw that so many times. I mean, he's the one that restarted our franchise, bro. After he hit that shot over Paul George that he claimed was a bad shot. And ever since then, Paul George has not been straight in the playoffs, even though it's only been one season since. But bro, yeah, that right there, like I was thinking about a bunch of different celebrations, and obviously, trying to stick within the format of players that are in the playoff format. And there's, obviously more celebrations that I like, but I kept thinking about that one. I was like, you know what? Because when he does it, it's like, sometimes when he does that, there's still games, game time to be played. Like, it's not all about the end of the game and you do that. It's like, sometimes he hits a big shot and there's still minutes to be played. So you still have to back that up, that it's Dame time. And that's what I respect about that. It's like, the logo threes, whatever he's doing to make it Dame time is always game time for him. And it's just like Zach Hammer had mentioned on the Tavern Geek podcast before. It doesn't matter how many shots he's taken earlier on in the game, or how good or bad of a percentage he has earlier on. When it comes to the fourth quarter and it comes to the clutch, that's the guy you go to, especially for the Blazers. But I mean, if he was on any of these teams in the NBA playoffs, like you won't hesitate to pass him the ball. Maybe Kyrie should have mentioned him as far as one of the players that he wouldn't mind playing with to take the last shot, because that guy is clutch. It's Dame time. Dame Dollar. Speaking of other rappers, I mean, he's a rapper himself, but Yeah, for real. That he gets my award right there, bro.
Bro, when we were like doing the introductions first on this episode, and it just crossed my mind, we should have done a Dundie. Should have done a Dundie on best player that's a rapper. I think Dame probably would have won it for both of us, but you got like Lonzo, you got a couple other guys I know of
Marvin
that
Bagley.
rap a little bit. That's something else, just something cool we should have thrown in here. Maybe next year we can do that. Maybe another rapper will emerge.
Maybe next year, but who's going to step up to challenge Dame?
Well, yeah, somebody gonna have to. Man, Dame puts out that content in the off season, bro. He got features with Wayne and stuff. Like, he's a big deal.
For real. Yeah. Let me get into the next award. So that was our third award. We got a couple more to finish up here. So award number 4 for both of us is most likely to be a commentator. What a random, very specified award. And I have to give it to one of your dudes, bro. I have to give it to Klay Thompson. We actually just saw him do that a little bit earlier in the season, where he just got on the mic and commentated. And hey, by the way, was that same game that Draymond Green was talking about Rodney Magruder?
Bro, I was gonna plug that because Klay Thompson was my choice too. I was gonna plug that in there. He actually jumped up at the end of the game to go down there in case there was a fight because the Pistons were talking trash.
See how good of a commentator he is? He would actually get on the floor while commentating and disrupt what's going on the floor. Hey, hold my mic real quick. I gotta go. I got something to handle. I'll be right back. Just keep it rolling. Hey, I'm not mic'd up, am I? I don't have a wireless mic because I'm about to get heated. I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, you don't want to hear what I'm about to say.
Yeah. Hey, turn this off. Cut right now.
Yeah, but I agree with you 100%. Klay Thompson is my vote too. He did it one game this year against Detroit, but yeah, he did really good on there. Very professional, and extremely experienced. So he knows what he's talking about, and he just has that voice, kind of like Tony Romo when he retired. I was kind of surprised when he became a commentator, but I mean, he's an amazing commentator. So I can see Klay kind of like taking up that role in basketball. Plus, he has experience, he's played, so he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, he even did the post game interview with Steph that game, I remember. And that was cool to watch because they're brothers. But yeah, he even jumped up at the end because there was that little fight with Rodney Magruder. Where Draymond and Klay got up. I think he was talking trash to like Juan Toscano Anderson or something like that. The Warriors were about to jump him, but yeah, I got
Klay out of too. Curiosity. Did you have any other candidates for that award?
To be honest, nope. Klay's the only one I had.
Real quick, could you see like a spinoff of one of the TNT shows where in about 5 years, a few of these guys get on and have a little talk segment, and it'd be like Klay Thompson, as far as an analyst on like an end of the game show, like Klay Thompson, LeBron, Draymond, and another guy. Throwing another guy.
LeBron. Okay,
LeBron's a good commentator because he remembers plays.
About LeBron, because I love watching. I can't remember the name of it, but LeBron does. He has like talk shows. I watch him on YouTube sometimes. Like I remember a specific one. He had like Chris Bosh there, and he had Drake. Yeah, I think it was a shot. Like he had Drake, he had Chris Bosh. I think one of them might have had Kevin Hart, maybe something like that. But yeah, he gets on there and he's just the way he talks and what he talks about and the way he says stuff is extremely professional, and I like what he has to say. So
Kevin
I was
Durant
actually
has one too, right?
thought about LeBron. Yeah. And I saw one where Kevin Durant and LeBron were in like a back of a taxi or something. They're riding in a car like before the finals a couple years ago or something. But yeah, all those guys LeBron went through my mind, but I was like, I'm sure he'll be too busy doing something else to be a commentator, so I didn't even write that down.
But
LeBron is one that I thought of, but yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin Durant have his own segment where he reads tweets and responds instantly, like the Michael Rappaport type of stuff. Like I don't know if that'd be good for TV. You might have to put that on like FXX or something like that.
Yeah, that's like not safe for work stuff right there.
Yeah, it ain't safe.
Explicit content.
That's
parental advisory.
Hey,
right,
get into probably your favorite award, man. You go ahead and introduce that one.
This ain't my favorite award.
What's it called, bro? What is the award? Let the listeners know and the viewers know, bro. because if they're still paying attention to this, they must be locked into what awards we're giving out, because these are definitely not traditional at all.
All right, so this one is actually worst opponent of the year, but we have a shortened version of it, Woy.
Where does
Kind of the
that
spinoff of
derive
like the
from?
Drake, kind of the spinoff of Drake when he says like woy woy. So that's kind of a spinoff from there. And one thing I talked
In
to
your
Derek about this
outro.
earlier, we decided, yeah, in the outro, we decided we weren't going to do like I said earlier, teams that weren't in the play-in or playoffs. But I was like, man, wouldn't that be cool if we could do Toronto on here? Since like it's a spinoff how they were not very good this year and played pretty bad as worst opponent of the year then, and then also a spinoff of Drake. Him being a Toronto fan, living in Toronto. I just thought that would have been a cool play, kind of a double thing there. But we're not doing teams obviously that didn't make the play in the playoffs. So the Raptors are out the question. So yeah, honestly, this was actually a little bit of a tough pick for me. It was between two teams. The teams were the Indiana Pacers and the San Antonio Spurs, and I went with the San Antonio Spurs. The only reason I didn't go with the Pacers was because of Domantas Sabonis, in my opinion, and Karis LeVert played pretty good too. But Sabonis, is putting up triple doubles, doing his thing pretty often. So I mean, he's pretty scary to go against. But I mean, the Spurs, only dude that I really worry about, to be honest, is DeMar DeRozan, and I don't even think he didn't do enough to make the All-Star team. That's the only player even you hear of down there. I mean, DeJounte Murray had like one triple double, maybe two triple doubles, maybe something like that. But it's like they got rid of Aldridge. What's their point guard's name? I keep thinking Derek. No,
DeJounte, Derek White.
Derek White. Yeah, Derek White. I couldn't remember his last name. Derek White. I mean, he missed a lot of time due to injury. So I mean, nothing real scary down there. I think if you had to play the Spurs, Popovich is a great coach. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer, but they ain't got much going on this year for him. So yeah, my worst opponent of the year, or my Woy Dundie, goes to the San Antonio Spurs.
I was similar to you. I was thinking about this award, and then when we figured out that the format was going to be people who were, or players or teams that were in the playoffs or the play-in tournament, I had to eliminate the Bulls because that's who I initially wanted to roll with. So I was trying to think of a team that was similar to that and give my reason. I went with the Boston Celtics as my Woy. They are, to me, the worst opponent of the year because of the situation. Like I said, I try to compare them to the Bulls, and it's just I didn't know what version to expect. Like you could be going against the Boston Celtics and be like, oh man, this is a tough team. Like this definitely is a measuring stick as far as how good you could play if you're beating this team. And then there's nights where it's just like, I mean, are y'all that good, or the Boston Celtics that bad? Because there's like just off nights, and it was like, why are the Boston Celtics losing so many games? So for me, that just kind of made it feel like, well, yeah, they have great games and they could be a great opponent, but there's times where they're like a worse opponent because they're just so inconsistent. So it's like, it's hard to predict if you feel like, hey man, I can really win this game, or man, this is really going to be tough. So it's like, you have to have that mentality, like the Boston Celtics are going to bring their A game all the time, but there's a lot of times where they didn't really, and a lot of times they didn't even bring the B game. So, and then just we keep mentioning this over and over where the Boston Celtics fumbled the ball when it came to not pursuing a big during the buyout market and the trade deadline. They could have had Vucevic, in my opinion, but yeah, just worst opponent. Woy, Boston Celtics. Congratulations.
Respect. I like that. I like that kind of a different answer. They got two All-Stars there, but yeah, disappointed for sure. So yeah, I like that. I like that take.
Okay, here we're about to sum
You want
it
to
up.
roll with the last one?
I'll roll with the last one,
with this one,
which means you'll be giving out the last award, but I'll start the last award here. So this is our final KISH Dundie. So yeah, once again, if y'all are watching these videos or listening, go definitely follow us. Go to our YouTube page and give us a like and a subscribe. Leave in the comments what you would like to see added for next year, or if you like this concept. And you can also go to Twitter and also Instagram if you want to like DM us as far as ideas and stuff under KISHYZ, KISH_YZ. And maybe we'll have some different topics next year. I would like to keep this going, but some of this might be kind of redundant, so we'll see what we come up with. But we're really having fun over here. So yeah, just to sum up this part of the podcast, the last KISH NBA Dundie is the KISH YZ MVP. And this is not just your ordinary MVP, because the qualification for this MVP is it has to be a non-all-star. So they cannot be a player that made the all-star team this season. So not that they couldn't ever been an all-star, is that this season, the 2021 NBA All-Star game, they were not selected. They were not a replacement player, and they weren't a player that was initially selected but was left out due to injury. So that really narrows down the list. But I got one special guy in mind, and all I got to say is, Mr. Triple Double, come get your award. I'd give you 3 awards if I could, but you only get one. You get the main one. Maybe we'll have a better prop next year to give away this award, or keep track of who's getting these KISH YZ MVPs. But yeah, Russell Westbrook gets my award there for MVP. I mean, he's doing everything that obviously puts him in a normal MVP conversation, whether he's at the bottom of the top 5 of whoever's list or wherever he may be. I mean, the numbers definitely show it. And now with the Wizards being in the play-in tournament, and if they definitely make the playoffs, I mean, I know I have to consider just regular season, but for me, if they definitely make the playoffs, it's, solidifies what his greatness has done to impact the Washington Wizards just this season alone. So yeah, he definitely gets my awards. He averaged a triple double again. He is leading the league history in triple doubles. So, we'll see if that record gets broken in 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, just outstanding season, and just playing really good basketball, and they have some high energy right now. And I'd like to see that carry over into the play-in tournament. So yeah, Russ, come get your award, bro. Don't do they, do you. And by doing you got this award.
Yeah, I can't argue with that one. Russell Westbrook was definitely probably my first choice, but I chose him for my celebration, my favorite celebration. So therefore, by our rules, I cannot vote on him again. So I looked at some other guys, and my choice here is probably going to shock. Well, I know it's going to shock you. It's going to shock the viewers. Shocks me saying it, to be honest, because it's not a player that we really think. He's on a team with another top 5 MVP candidate. It's just an extremely underrated player and a huge acquisition for this team this season. In my opinion, that's going to help them get higher than they were last year. But yeah, just a couple.
Man, I kind of want to guess at this.
I got a couple honorable mentions I want to throw out too, because I think some guys definitely deserve recognition that didn't make the All-Star game, but are playing like they could have made the All-Star game. Russell Westbrook, like you touched on, DeMar DeRozan, Bam Adebayo, and Trae Young. Some guys that got written down that played great. All of their teams made the playoffs. San Antonio pretty much solely on DeMar. Bam, a huge part in Miami along with Jimmy Butler and Trae. I know he missed some time, but
he does
great things in Atlanta.
I'm very intrigued here. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, bro. I can't believe. Man,
I want to give a couple cracks.
Go on. You probably get it. Go on.
Okay. Oh no, I don't want it. Okay, I got 2 guys in mind. Let's see what happens next. Okay.
Yeah. Shout out Drake. You can guess.
Is it Draymond?
No.
Thank goodness, because I was like, man, you can't be putting all the Warriors players on here. Okay, so
no, not Draymond.
My only other guess, based off the hints that you gave, and I can totally be wrong, but the only other name that popped up in my head was CJ McCollum.
No, you're missing. You're missing something big. I said he's a huge acquisition for that team this season. It's his first year on a team. You want to take another guess now? And I said it's a player. That already has an top 5 MVP candidate on their team.
And they didn't make the All-Star game this year?
Yeah, they didn't make the All-Star game.
I'm tired of guessing, man. I'm tired of waiting. Just give it to me.
Drew Holiday.
Oh, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
Russell Westbrook was easy
Dundie right there,
you know what? Russell Westbrook was easy here, but I was like, you know what? I want to use him for the celebration because I think he nailed that. I said, I want to go different here. And I'm thinking, I'm like, man, Drew Holiday has made so much of an impact on that Milwaukee team, and he's such a step up from Eric Bledsoe, in my opinion. And here lately, like here probably the last month, he has started going crazy on offense. I think he's constantly scoring 20 plus points a game, even cracking 30 some, and he's just. I mean, Milwaukee likes him so much. I mean, they just gave him a huge contract. I mean, halfway through this year. So I mean, they obviously love having him there. He loves being there. He loves playing with Middleton and Giannis. And just an amazing, amazing, amazing defender. I mean, so that's probably his greatest attribute. But I was just looking at where Milwaukee did last year. Where they left off losing to Miami in the playoffs, and then them getting rid of Eric Bledsoe and getting him. I think it's a huge step up. And I mean, Drew Holiday, I think, is playing the best basketball of his career this year. Just a player that I think is extremely underrated. So while he's not talked about by basically anyone as an MVP candidate, just an underrated guy. I think deserves a lot more credit. Like I said, Russell Westbrook was probably the obvious choice here, but I really wanted to use him for the celebration. I was thinking, with the other guys I mentioned, I was like, man, I know Drew Holiday's not the number one guy, but I think he makes such an impact for Milwaukee, and it's going to show with how far they go in this year's playoffs. But yeah, I figured I'd shake that one up a little bit and give me Drew Holiday.
I love it, bro. Yeah. I give it 2 thumbs up, bro. Like, yeah, hey, that was great, man. That wrapped up our KISH Dundies right there, man. How'd you feel about that show, man? Man, that was
I like that, man.
That was a cool thing. I like this theme here. Once again, put in the comments if you like this, but yeah, man. Hey, I give it an applause right there. Hand clap.
Yeah, that's the deal.
But yeah, bro, for real. I wasn't expecting that. Like, that had me on the edge of my seat. And I'm just like, oh, are you getting that? Like, I like that intense. Like, I really felt like it's a TV show I'm watching. Like, okay, who is it? Now you're just dropping hints that I'm not picking up on. So I definitely like that. But yeah, like I said, some of these were kind of obvious, but they're fun times, things we want to just be wacky with and get out there and just do it in reminiscence of The Office, great TV show. I pretty much just turn that on Netflix every winter and start watching it. I've actually never really finished it all the way through, to be honest, because I always start from the beginning, and then I don't get around to watching a lot of it as far as binging. So
you've never seen the end
almost
stuff?
The last season,
like the finale and stuff?
I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever seen the finale. Crazy,
isn't it? You gotta crack down on it.
Yeah, I know. I'll start in the winter during NBA season. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but yeah, that wraps up the KISH NBA Dundies. So, we're going to finish this podcast with the second half of it. And speaking of which, I wanted to mention this in the last podcast, episode 30. We're starting 30 and onwards of, I guess, season 1 of Kicking in the Second Half. And the second half is officially done as of Sunday. So all these episodes 30 and on are post second half. So, just a play on our words, but we're getting into the postseason now. And obviously right now it's that in between stage of the play-in tournament that they added. But yeah, I just wanted to shout that out. But yeah, the second part of this podcast, we're going to, talk about our predictions of what we think is going to happen with the actual NBA awards. So we'll just kind of go down through this list. Hugh, we can elaborate a little bit if you want to, or however you want to do this as far as for time. But we have, just kind of winner predictions for the typical awards. So we'll start out with one of the first ones I got written down, Roy, Rookie of the Year. You got a name, or you want me to get mine out first?
Yeah. I mean, I got Anthony Edwards.
And
I think
I'm not
he
disagreeing there, so you roll with that. I got you right there.
I think the main thing that comes down for Anthony Edwards was his longevity this season. Being able to remain healthy. Did he get injured, banged up at all this season? He might have missed a little time, but nothing
He
long.
may have earlier, but I mean, if so, it wasn't much. But I feel like he was basically there the whole time.
Yeah. Beginning of the season, he was kind of hit or miss. The only thing you really saw him do was dunks. But as the season went on, it's like when Minnesota got healthier and D'Angelo Russell came back and Malik Beasley was back and Karl Anthony Towns, he played better. So it's like the more the ball was out of hands, kind of like the better he got. Almost, he played great towards the end of the season. Really bright future there in Minnesota or wherever his career goes. But yeah, definitely a player that can develop. I think we all probably think LaMelo Ball would have won this award if he was to stay healthy. Before he got hurt, he was probably the clear winner. So unfortunate for him. Definitely still in the consideration, along with Tyrese Halliburton, in my opinion. Towards the end of the season, he began playing really good basketball, really good for Sacramento. But unfortunately, he got injured and his season got cut short. But yeah, not too much to say. Anthony Edwards mainly, honestly, just for his longevity. Another guy, I was considering, maybe it's not my number one option, maybe top five, was James Wiseman. Unfortunately, he got hurt. He was finally starting to take shape. Right there before he got injured, crashing the boards more. He kept getting into foul trouble a lot, but he seemed to be, knocking that out. And plus, he was getting, help, taught every game by Draymond, which that's very important for him. But yeah, definitely guy there. A lot of them guys got their season cut short due to injury, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, definitely a bright future.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of those. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next one. I love your explanations here. Let's go with the DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year. And I just pretty much rolled with what you had pre-podcast. So you can announce that one too if you like, Hubert.
Rudy Gobert.
Yes, sir.
Not too much to say there. I mean, in my opinion,
He's
boring answer,
three
but
times,
the best one.
3 times. This would be his third time,
Yeah,
I think. Giannis
I
got it
think,
last
yeah.
year, but this would be his third time if he were to get it.
Yeah, and definitely some honorable mentions. Drew Holiday, God, just touched on very high on him. Amazing defender. Ben Simmons, Giannis himself. Anthony Davis if he was healthy. So you got a lot of good options there. But Gobert is just so dominant in the paint, man. Teams just when they're
Plus,
playing
with the
Utah, they
Jazz
just
being
don't.
number
They
one.
just yeah. And plus, when teams play Utah, they don't really go in the paint. They know what's going to happen. They know Gobert's going to block your shot. He's going to offer you a shot. He's going to make you do something you don't want to do, and you go turn it over. You're going to miss a shot. Yeah. So if you watch Utah play, they're still a team that I feel like is underrated in my opinion for being a number one seed. But you see a lot of teams taking threes against them. That's because they don't want to drive it on Gobert, and that's why he gets so many rebounds too. I think he finished maybe second in rebounds this year. But yeah, it's about defense. But yeah, not a more dominant defensive player in the league, in my opinion, than Rudy Gobert.
Yep, I'll give you that one too. Let's move on to the most improved player. What do you got for that, Hubert?
Julius Randle.
Thumbs up there for me too, bro.
I don't really think there's argument there. Anybody who can even compare with him, to be honest.
Not an
I think that
all-star
was
to
a
an
given.
all-star. Nick sitting in the 4th seed this year. Just underdogs all the way around. Been talked about as being the best team in New York. That's debatable right there. I know you ain't trying to hear that. Go ahead and drink your water right there, bro. But yeah, Julius Randle definitely a big step up in the right direction. He was already putting up somewhat of a decent number, but obviously these numbers are all-star numbers. He even had a couple triple doubles this season. So I think he might have had a few before this season, maybe 1 or 2. But this season, he's consistent. He's consistent with it. So this is what you want to see from a player. If they're improving that, they hold it down at that high level. Earlier in the season, I probably would have said Jaylen Brown as my predicted most improved player, but along with some other names that didn't quite make it out because of injury. But yeah, I agree with the Julius Randle. I'll give you that.
Hey, is it possible for most improved player to go to Stephen Curry?
I don't know.
Is that possible here?
But when they're going to think about most improved, they're probably also going to be thinking about the seasons past, even though it should be, I guess, from this season compared to last season. But I don't know if they factor in a lot of their past career. Like, okay, is this really that much more better than your whole career or your years past? Like, yeah, he's having an MVP caliber season that's definitely putting him above. But I don't think I've ever seen, or at least since I've been watching, where a player is like trying to pick up both, like season MVP and most improved. Obviously, if you're on the border of making an MVP, then you could kind of say, well, have you improved if you didn't make it last year? But you know how that goes. But no, I feel you on that one. But no, yeah, Julius Randle is
I was
deserving. He's definitely more
definitely
deserving.
something to think about. Yeah,
now, if Kelly Oubre was
there. I was just joking when I said it.
Now, if Kelly Oubre was playing like Steph Curry, yeah, you could have another Warriors player out there. Yeah.
There you go.
They might look at him like, well, you're not quite a guy we want to talk about as the MVP, but we'll give you that most improved player. You know what I mean?
Hey, he went most improved from first half to the second half.
Possibly. Let's
He
get
ain't
into.
even played the second half, but he most improved.
Oh, that's terrible. That's Cole right there.
Nah, I'm
Let's
joking. He's
get
my
into
boy.
the coach of the year. Uh, I had several different names written down. I think we both know who we're picking, but you had mentioned honorable mention to Monty Williams, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, because of what they're doing. I mean, I wouldn't argue that right there at all because they're basically up there with the Utah Jazz. But I think a lot of that as well is a big impact on the performance of CP3. But and then another honorable mention, Doc Rivers, what he did to turn around the Sixers. Not really complete turnaround, but they're number one. So, you know, I just like that storyline there from last year, the early exit by the Clippers in the playoffs. And then with Paul George and them basically saying that, you know, it's Doc Rivers' fault. And then for him to go to the Eastern Conference where you have the heavy favored Brooklyn Nets and you're number one in the conference, like, give the man some credit. He's basically got the same talent pool that he had last year with a couple adjustments. You know, maybe it's Curry that's doing it. Seth Curry. Shout out to Seth Curry. But yeah, I think you and I, who we both got Quinn Snyder, which is the head coach of the Utah Jazz. Do you have him?
Yep.
Yep. And with that record alone, I mean, that puts them they're best in the league, correct?
Yep.
So I mean, there's no arguing that there. Like that's another team that basically had the same talent pool as last year. You know, they had to relearn how to bond after the COVID accident with, you know, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. You know, basically when COVID got shut down last year. I mean, the NBA got shut down, and then you know, because of COVID, and then just trying to keep your team focused on their goals and winning and have that good team chemistry, and then having your veteran Mike Conley step in and step up and not overshadow Donovan Mitchell and have him growing as a better player this year, and then organizing your bench and knowing when to plug people in and having that fluid rotation like that. I mean, all of those things that we see on the court, I mean, there's a lot of teams that have great talent, but sometimes it's not just what is on the court, it's managing that talent. And Quinn Snyder, congratulations, because I don't see why he wouldn't actually get the award. Like I mentioned some honorable mentions, but I mean, right there alone, I mean, Quinn Snyder has kept them at the top for almost the whole season. I mean, there was just a few times where they fell off the top, if that. I mean, like they started there and they ended there. So that's just the bottom line right there. That just shows you that it wasn't that much of a struggle for him. Now, obviously, we don't know what he had to grind out to get to that point, but he did it. They're at where they're at, and this is all based off the regular season. So,
Yeah.
job
Yeah. Yeah.
security.
Yeah. I can't really argue with anything you said. You hit the nail on the head. I was gonna, you know, I think before we were discussing this, I brought up Phoenix's coach, but you brought up a good point there. You said, you know, Quinn Snyder did the same thing in Utah there without really making a lot of changes to the roster. You know, Phoenix brought in CP3, and I agree with you. Probably most of their success of the season comes on the heels of CP3 and what he's been able to bring to that team. But like you touched on, what they had to go through, what Utah had to go through last season with COVID and the Gobert, Donovan Mitchell situation, and then, you know, going, you know, first in the West pretty much the whole season, like you touched on, without really making a big changes to the lineup. You know, mainly sticking with the same guys that they had. I think is huge. So yeah, you persuaded me there. Give me Quinn Snyder.
All right. Hey, yeah. I think we could, yeah, obviously both come to those terms for, you know, good reason. But yeah, let's go to the sixth man of the year. Hugh, what do you got over there?
I got Jordan Clarkson.
Rolling with the
Keep it on
Jazz again.
Utah.
Jazz are pulling in deep with this list, bro. That gives them like three right there between
One player. I know you disagree. I know you have somebody else for this we talked about. One person I want to give an honorable mention to is Joe Ingles. I think Joe Ingles does great things.
Another Utah
And,
Jazz player.
I know he starts
Why
a lot.
not?
I know he starts some, but yeah, he's also somebody I want to plug too. I mean, definitely a person
Hey, he's better
that
than
can
his
get
brother.
Consideration. But
He's
hey,
better than his
you
brother.
know his brother. Hey, you know I saw on 2K that his brother's listed as a center. He's a third center on the Warriors depth chart. I said,
That
dude,
dude.
what?
Right? Hey, just in case y'all
Yeah.
are listening, y'all are like, Joe Ingles' brother is in the NBA. I don't think he is. It's actually a guy that looks like him. Actually, we call him Joe Ingles' cousin. I think it's what we said because it's like, you know, they don't look that much alike, but from just watching it on TV from the camera angle, it's like, dang, is that Joe Ingles on the Golden State Warriors? Like, who's this knockoff Joe Ingles guy? But I forget what his name is.
His name's like
Smoliak. Smoliak.
Smoliak. Yeah, he got a G
Yeah.
in there at the end. Smoliak. I don't even know his first name.
Yeah. If y'all know anything of what we're talking about or not too familiar, just Google Golden State roster and look for the dude that looks kind of close to Joe Ingles. He doesn't look exactly like him, but if you see videos of him, you're like, oh man, that's Joe Ingles' cousin. Like, that's just what we call him. So, sometimes you gotta have a laugh and plug those in. But yeah, I mean, either way, man, you got Utah Jazz all up in this list, and they're deserving. But yeah, I just changed it up a little bit, in my opinion, for this one. I wanted to give a shout out to Derrick Rose as the sixth man of the year, just because of, once again, the story with the New York Knicks. Julius Randle didn't do it alone. I think they have a nice three there with Randle, Barrett, and Rose off the bench, and he provides a spark. Even if he's not averaging a high amount of points when it comes to the playoffs, I think he's going to probably get a little bit boost in minutes, which will give him a little bit boost in scoring. I mean, I did a PPF of him, a shoes video of him. I mean, I'm a huge fan of him, and I just want to give him respect. And, the New York Knicks and New York as a whole, New York City, they love that guy, man. They really love him out there. And he's doing great things and contributing in ways that reflects with their record as well. So, if it's not somebody from the Utah Jazz, I think Derrick Rose would definitely be deserving of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't hate on that at all. Not at all, to be honest. But yeah, Jordan Clarkson, he's I know I talked about Jones a little bit, but Jordan Clarkson is who I have for it. I just think he's been extremely reliable off the bench for them. I know Golden State and Utah, when they played, Golden State ended up winning, but I think Jordan Clarkson had 41, maybe something like that. Wow. That's like unreal off it from a dude coming off the bench. But I mean, yeah, shout out Jordan Clarkson. He's been a huge part of that rotation in Utah.
I mean, the dude's basically been a starter until he came to the Utah Jazz. They plugged him in a new role, and he really thrives in that.
Yeah, and I mean, he stepped up even more since Donovan Mitchell was going out. I mean, he's led the team in scoring. Like I said, that Warriors game, he had 41. So I mean, huge for a dude off the bench. So yeah, give me Jordan Clarkson.
Bogdanovich had 50 the other week.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, bro. The Jazz, man. That's why Quinn Snyder's got to get this, bro. Like, you can just plug players in at your will and just like, boom, take care of this game for me.
Hey, like, Draymond played for them. Probably put up 30.
You're probably right, though. Probably right. Yeah, let's get to the last award. I don't think we left any out. If we did, just leave it in the comments. Sorry about that. But obviously the last one is usually the one that people look out for the most when it comes to NBA regular season awards. And that is the MVP of the league for the 2020-2021 NBA season. And I don't have a name. I have candidates. So we can kind of discuss it because you might have a definite person. I think you do, but I wrote down Jokic. Obviously, he's been kind of one of the leading candidates after the Joel Embiid injury and whoever else that was up there at the time during the discussion, LeBron James. So Jokic basically played like, dang, did he play like every game almost except for like the last one or two? And
bro, I think he sat like one game.
Yeah, bro. So that right there is very impressive. And then on top of that, to do what he did without Murray for the last couple months or so, and just to keep them up there where they're at. Where do they wind up ending up in fourth? Anyway, you're top 4 teams, and out of the 8 for the playoffs in the Western Conference. That's tough. You make players around you better. So another player on the list, Steph Curry, is the other candidate. And, we talked about him earlier in the podcast. I mean, he's just an amazing guy, having one of his best seasons ever. I mean, definitely worth considering for MVP. I don't even have to go over that anymore. And Chris Paul, CP3 is the other guy I have as a candidate for MVP. I mean, just because of what we just touched on, like, that's why I don't really want to give Monty Williams the Coach of the Year award, even though he could be deserving of it. It's because a lot of that impact is from what Chris Paul brought to the team. And he's doing that off 1 year of being with the team. Like, this is his rookie year of a Phoenix Suns jersey to say, as far as him not having to play for that franchise at all. And then to be able to acclimate into their system and make guys around him better and give them the record and almost push for first place towards the end for the West. You're in the West. Like, he's always been in the West, but that goes to show you, like, when he's in the right system there, that's how impactful he is as a player. And plus, he's played like almost all of his games, he's had a healthy season this year, one of the healthiest in his career, maybe outside of last season. And that's just amazing. Like the proof is right there from where the Phoenix Suns was last year to where they're at this year. I mean, I can't say anymore. Like I'm really pushing for CP3 at this point just by saying this. But all of these guys are good candidates. And I just want to give a shout out. I didn't write them down because I'm like, man, how do I argue him over top of these guys? But Dame, I mean, he's always consistent, and he held it down while CJ McCollum was out. And they're not a play-in team. They're sitting in 6th, but they're a legit playoff team, and he always gets left out. He's always one of those players like, why hasn't Dame won the championship? But then it's kind of like, well, how do you get him over top of these other guys? But I mean, I just want to pay respects, and Dame has been balling, and he's always continued to ball. And unfortunate with some of these names, he's getting overshadowed again. So I just wanted to mention him. But Hugh, you know, you could just fill in and give us your take on who's the MVP. So I gave you candidates, you give us the answer. You hand out the award.
Yeah. So definitely intriguing. I think it looked like Jokic had this award hands down for a while there, and probably the last month and a half of the season. Steph Curry came along and said, "Well, not so fast." I'm gonna go between Jokic and Curry. To be honest, CP3's done amazing, but I'd probably have him in my top 5. But I don't see him as one of the top choices there. But yeah, like I'm not gonna hate on what he did. I mean, he's single-handedly changed Phoenix, in my opinion, just from one player. So that's crazy. But man, yeah, I know it's been so long since the centers won this award. I can't remember exactly how long they said, but I know it doesn't happen very often. And while Jokic is deserving, let's switch it up a little bit, man. Let's get electric with it. I mean, your MVP, yeah, he can shoot layups, pretty good, and he can get rebounds pretty good. Big man's supposed to do that, man. Let's go with something that ain't nobody seen before, and that's Steph Curry. And that's the way he's shooting, and that's the way he's putting the Warriors on his back, and that's the way he's breaking records. It's the way he's just all these points he scored, like I touched on earlier, he leading the league in scoring, second time in his career, the record for threes, I think he shot 72 in like a week, or made 72 in a week or something like that, broke a record there, made, 11 or more in 10 straight games, something like that, set a record. I mean, just unreal records. I mean, even for Steph Curry is impressive, and which not much shooting wise should be impressive for us anymore looking at Steph Curry, but he's still finding ways to impress us. So, I mean, just if you would have asked me a month ago, it would have been Jokic. If you probably would have asked me 2 weeks ago, it would have been Jokic. But single-handedly too, what came down to it, last game of the season, Warriors of Memphis. A big important game, extremely important game. One's an 8 seed, one's a 9 seed. If you're the 8 seed, you can afford to lose one. You still get another chance. 9 seed, you got one chance, and that's it. If you lose first game, you're out. And what did Curry do yet again that he's done so many times this season? Excuse me. He's put the team on his back. He started out slow in the first quarter. I think he had like single digits in the first quarter. He ended up with 46 points, 9 threes. I mean, the dude had 10 games this season, a shortened season, 72 games, so 10 games shorter than a normal season, but had 10 games of 40 points or more. I think his high was 62 he had in the game or something like that. I mean, just even for Steph Curry is impressive, and it's hard for him to, impress a lot of people anymore just because we expect it from him. But I mean, he's still finding ways to just show off and add new wrinkles to his game, and really bulk up. Everybody was worried about his health concerns, and he did miss a little bit of time. That's something I will give the advantage to Jokic over. Jokic, played I think all of the season, but maybe 1 or 2 games. Curry missed, what was it? I think 10 days or something with an injured tailbone. But I think besides that, I think he might have missed a game, 1 or 2 other games for maybe, I don't know if they call it rest purposes, but just taking a breather, something like that. Maybe something minor injury, but I think that's pretty much it for Curry. So probably the healthiest season of his career, looking at it, or one of them. I mean, everybody's worried about the ankle, you included. That's something we talked about a lot. You were worried about his ankle holding up, and him, going so hard every game on it, and it held up. So shout out Curry and his conditioning. And yeah, man, I mean, maybe a little bias showing for me there, but like today, I think I was telling you at work today about it, but I saw a thing on Instagram this morning. It was like ESPN Sports Center. One of them posted is like the top 5 candidates. He's like, who your MVP? And Curry and Jokic were obviously like the first 2 on there. And I got on there, the comment section. I was like, man, I'm sure pretty much all of these will be Jokic. And I probably looked the top like 50 comments, and I think all but like 3 were Curry. And I was like, man,
Wow.
so I ain't the only one thinking this. I ain't the only one. I agree with a lot of the comments. It said should be Curry, but it'll probably be Jokic. And that's how I feel. I feel like Jokic was just too consistent over the year. You know, his longevity is something we don't see very often, and the way he was able to do it this year. And plus, you know, Donovan Mitchell goes down, and no, I'm totally thinking of the wrong team. Jamal Murray went down. Sorry, Jamal Murray went down, and they seem to get better. They went up in the standings, so I mean that's huge there too. You know, he did his thing. But I would love to see Curry get it. I think Jokic is deserving, and I wouldn't be mad or anything. I understand, but man, give it to my boy Curry, man.
I hear you, man. I think it might all come down to win shares if they want to look at that category. If they really want to go bold, they can give it to Russell Westbrook. Choke on your water over there.
Hey, that is one thing I saw in a couple of comments. They didn't have like Russ on there. It was like the top 5. It was like Embiid was on there, and Giannis. I think they still had LeBron on it, and everybody was like, "Oh, so Russ don't exist no more." Stuff like that. He's underrated. I think he should definitely be in conversation, averaging triple double.
Russ and Dame. I mean, it's just crazy, but you got to narrow it down and narrow it down and narrow it down until you get basically one candidate that's going to stand out. I mean, once you get the top 3, then you can kind of pick from there. And that's what they basically do is they narrow it down to like 2 or 3, and then they choose one. So, each vote counts. So you get one, they get one vote, and it is what it is. So it's interesting to see. They're not supposed to be persuaded by anything after the regular season, but I mean, I don't know. It's probably tempting to see what happens in the play-in series. Like if Steph Curry doesn't make it in the playoffs at all, then that might hurt his case. If they were to count that, but if he makes it, and if he makes it in the 7th seed, that would definitely help his case. So I mean, definitely interesting to see. But yeah, man, we just basically wrap this up. This is almost as I don't know. This is almost could have been like 2 episodes in one, but we just wanted to make it one big episode. Starting out with the KISH Dundie, and then obviously giving all our opinion on the regular season awards, just to be neutral about it and be traditional when it came to that. But I definitely love those KISH Dundies, man. We could just do a whole nother episode of that next year, and that'll be cool. And hopefully get some feedback on do that and find out some information about what the fans want to see. So. But yeah, once again, if you're listening to this, go over to our YouTube page. You can watch the videos of this, watch our other videos, or like our playlists or like our debates, which we haven't done one of those in a long time, our shoes videos, and then some other content under KISH YZ on YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe, please, if you haven't already. And, if you're interested in listening to audio only, find us on Spotify, Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, Pocketcasts, Breakers. And then you can hit us up on Twitter and IG, on Twitch, or at Twitch. Oh, whoa, I'm saying too much stuff. At KISH YZ, KISH_YZ. Twitch is for Your Bird 36 and Cousin Fred under Ranking Up Gaming, and Your Bud 36, obviously. And shout out to the Tavern Geek as well. That podcast over there. Sometimes I'm over there as a co-host. And Hugh, give out your outro. And thanks for being on here again, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. This was definitely fun. Something that I think you just brought up doing maybe last week or something. So something that haven't had to sit on very long. Definitely something I'm excited for. I don't know if the viewers know. I know I've told you my favorite episodes of what we do is when we do our own list of things. So we probably agree on some things, we don't agree, but we don't talk about it beforehand. So like what you say surprises me, what I say surprises you. Like for instance, like earlier this year we did like our top 5 guards or top 5 forwards and like our top 2 centers, I think, or something like that. Like I enjoy those kind of episodes. It's raw, right. And we just roll with it. Those are my favorites. So I mean this not really talking about these Dundies before, I really enjoyed it. And oh my gosh, what was that? I just spoke a different language there. But it's just exciting, and I'm excited for playoff time. I'm super, super, super excited for this Lakers Warriors playing game. I think it's going to be a great game.
You're cutting out.
I can't wait for it to be right now. But I'll cut out a little bit. Oh yeah, but yeah, I just can't wait for the Lakers Warriors game. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be a dope game there. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, love doing this episode.
Any that night probably. You're gonna be
I'm gonna be watching that. You don't like when I watch the TV, so we might have to wait till after. Skip that night.
We'll have to figure out how to go on YouTube and do like a live cast of us watching the game or something. I don't know who wants to see that. Just 2 hours, hour and a half worth of watching. Oh. And then opposite emotions and stuff or whatever might happen, but that'd be kind of cool.
But this was a fun episode, probably one of my top 5 episodes doing. Very fun, dressed up nice. Hope the viewers appreciated the professionalism that we used in this. I very seldom ask D or anyone else from my personal life. Very, very, very seldom do I dress up. And I'm just sitting in my room. So yeah, you will hardly ever catch me in a blazer. Like I said, only the second time I've ever worn this. But yeah, I felt fit the occasion. Hopefully the viewers enjoyed the awards. Something definitely we can continue on next year. Maybe do some more Dundies or some different ones. I definitely think we should do rap. Maybe we might get somebody that starts rapping. Maybe we can actually have a decent debate there instead of just hating it to Dame. But yeah, just the idea there. But I hope the viewers appreciated this. This was fun. Thanks for having me on here, D. Shout out to Office for giving us this idea. Great show. If you've never
Yeah.
seen it, I don't know what's
Hey,
wrong
by the
with
way,
you.
if y'all
You
like
go
that,
check that out.
hit us up or leave in the comments if y'all want to see more crossovers where we spin off ideas from TV shows. I mean, I don't watch a whole bunch of TV, but there's certain ones that's like a cult favorite to me. So, maybe I'll catch an idea here and there, or you catch an idea and we can kind of incorporate it into this. But I'm currently like rewatching The Community. I don't think I've ever finished that either, but I like that show. Shout out to Donald Glover because you like him as well. That's Childish Gambino.
JB.
He's in that show, and that's actually where I first was introduced to him because I didn't know he was basically a rapper and basically a comedian as well. But yeah, so different things like that we can kind of throw in here in the mix. Obviously we want a lot of this content to be our original ideas, but I think I like when we do the crossovers too, and it's kind of cool.
Something cool we could do. It's not really NBA. Well, it kind of is like the best, like, because we talk about rap and stuff on here sometimes, like best rappers that play basketball. Like, because there's a lot of good ones.
That's stuff
I think that'd be
we can get
cool
into in the off season because people were going to be looking for content to listen to because in the off season there's not really any NBA action going on. It's just kind of like the rumor mill and then kind of more opinionated based stuff. So yeah, we could definitely use that as fillers for the off season. So yeah, it's not that it's something we can't do, but obviously with the playoffs right now, we're kind of churning out some videos and content for the playoffs, trying to keep track with that stuff, keep y'all up to date. Since y'all are dedicated to us, we're going to try to be dedicated to y'all as well. But yeah, look for that in the off season. That's all coming from Hugh over there. So that'll be his idea.
Just the idea.
Of course, that's what it is. And I'm sure somebody would be interested. We'll get somebody to listen or watch.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I touched on, this is fun. Appreciate you having me on here, D. I know I'm a regular on here.
Shout out to
appreciate you.
Shout out to Lucky from the Feeling Lucky pod because I'm friends with him on Instagram, and I saw where he posted on Instagram that he got tickets to Chance the Rapper, and that was one of his favorite rappers, he says. So I was like, oh, congrats. He's like, yeah, my fave. I can't wait. So he's seeing him live in concert here soon. So I think he is actually one of the ones that listen to our podcast all the time on Spotify. So shout out to him, and y'all can catch him on the Feeling Lucky pod as well. And I think he's a guest or co-host sometimes on the Hops News podcast there. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, you definitely have a little bit of crossover there, Hugh, with people who are interested in listening to this NBA podcast and people who like, hip hop rap music. So for sure.
Yeah. Well, definitely, those two just always seem to go together. You got it seems like basketball players want to rap and rappers want to be basketball players. I mean, it's just what it seems like. I mean, they just kind of go hand in hand together.
A few years ago, I read a little bit about that. It was between Kendrick Lamar and Chris Paul, CP3. So
yeah,
and it was
it's just kind of like
you just said. It basically.
I mean, it's pretty much. I mean, it's what it looks like. I mean, name a rapper that don't play basketball, and name a basketball player that don't want to be a rapper. I mean, maybe some of the. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe some of the white guys in the NBA. Maybe they might not want to be, but well, you get what I'm saying.
Or New Zealand. Sorry. I think he's from New Zealand. But people from New Zealand don't want to be called Australian. So yeah, New Zealand. My bad. I messed that up. Like, do you want to be called Canadian? You probably do. You like Drake.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad. Vindicated.
More Cuban than anything.
But anyways,
you just look like Fidel Castro.
Oh my gosh, I even trimmed the beard. I'm still getting it. But yeah. But like I said for like the 5th time already, I appreciate this. D, appreciate having me on. This is very fun. We'll definitely have to do this again next year. Maybe dive deeper into it. Get some more category specific things. But yeah, appreciate each and every one of y'all that are checking us out. You know, if you're not subscribed, then give me a sub. No tomatoes. You know, not a fan of veggies, preferably just a meat type of fella. But yeah, I mean, if you're not subscribed, you know, hopefully this video sold you. This was a very fun video. Back and forth, raw reactions, especially that Drew Holiday for MVP reaction. I like that reaction from D over there. But yeah, you know, and if you are sub, thank you. We appreciate the support and the likes and the views and everything you do. You know, just don't really know what to say. I feel like our subscribers get a little left out sometimes because we just talk a lot about people should subscribe. So yeah, everyone that's subscribed, shout out to y'all, man. You know, especially our day ones, you know, just people that's been with us from the beginning, you know, Kathy, for you, you know, Jeff's been there for a long time, KD, Moose. I mean, just a lot of the guys who are day ones, you know who you are. But shout out to each and every one of y'all.
Micah.
Yeah, your bud. Yeah, I mean, all you guys from my personal life. That's all our day ones, you know, from our personal life.
Shout out to Dwayne. Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah, Dwayne's probably the one that gives the most. He probably talks most about him. Like to us in like in person, and we work with him and stuff. And he probably talks us the most out of everybody. Some people make comments here and there. Some just watch and, you know, give us a view. But yeah, you know, we definitely like the ones that like to talk about what we talk about. We like hearing different people's opinions. But yeah, so shout out
shout out to my fam. Shout out to my sis. Yeah. I love you. You know, you helped to spread the news about this. Shout out to your bro, Eric. Yo, we did a podcast for you the one time, and the PPF on James Harden because you're a James Harden fan.
Hey, he actually been featured on here once. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah, he was on a late night telling of an episode.
Yeah,
because we were running late and he had got off of work and popped up. And yo, shout out to Andrew for real. You want to talk about day ones? Shout out to Andrew. What up, bro?
Yeah. Shout out my boy A-Cal. You've been keeping up.
Hey, shout out to B-Cal because you said he subscribed to Andrew's brother and he doesn't even watch basketball. Yeah.
Nah, but he watches our videos though. He did tell me he don't know a lick about basketball, but he watches our videos, he said. But yeah. And shout out you, Dreka, like I talked about in the last podcast. We appreciate, you know, your support. Just everybody, man. I mean, even if you're not subscribed, even if you just watch a little bit of a video and like, hey, it ain't for me. I mean, still, we appreciate it. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. We're not, you know, basketball ain't everybody's cup of tea. And, you know, even if you're a basketball fan, you know, you might not like me being a Raging Warriors fan, or you might not like something D said, but we just appreciate everybody and, you know, giving us a chance. And
hey,
each like and comment and viewer and sub means something to us. So thank y'all.
Speaking of day ones and person who comments and rappers, we got to shout out to our boy DeJondas, bro. Like,
yeah, for
real though, when he got a hold of one of our videos and said he really was, you know, digging into it, all of a sudden the viewer count went up. Like it was that Utah Jazz video because he's out of Utah. So shout out to Utah Jazz fans again. But yeah, shout out to DeJondas, the All-Star. You know, he's an upcoming. Well, he's already a rapper. I keep saying upcoming, but I mean he's getting bigger. Because you probably haven't heard of him, but he's got, you know, a page here on YouTube with the song. He actually sent us some promos of his a couple of his new songs that are coming out. He's waiting for, you know, I guess his other YouTube video to get up to maybe 100,000 likes before he releases the new content. But yeah, we're definitely feeling his stuff, and we thank you, bro, for your support. And, you know, we'll continue to network together. But for real though, yeah, shout out to everybody. And yeah, shout out to the viewers that haven't subscribed. Even if you don't subscribe, thanks for tuning in and listening to us and watching us here and kicking in the second half. Peace and love, everybody. Hugh, real quick, any more? I'm gonna give it again. Are you done, bro?
Good.
All right, everybody, yeah, thank you for kicking in the second half. It's been KISH by Z. Peace and love.